Hey, 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 we are at step number 2. So you've gotten your pre-approval letter, and what is that? That means that you have that little piece of paper that says you can go shopping. So let's figure out, what are your top 5 must-haves? What are your top 5? I can absolutely not live with that. For some people, it's different. Some people like the noise in the background if you back to a busy street because they know that they're getting a better value or bigger house than what they would normally be able to afford. Or sometimes they are moving from a bigger city and they like the noise. Secondly, sometimes people really don't want to live next to a cemetery. And yet I say, oh my gosh, their lawn is always mowed and they're the quietest neighbors you're always going to have. What I'm illustrating here is no two buyers are ever the same. And sometimes that means those same two buyers that are on your pre-approval letter have a different idea for your top 5 must-haves and your top 5 cannot live with. So talk with your partner and then let's talk together and let's figure out, because if you haven't figured it out yet, you will soon. There's no HGTV cameras following us around. We don't get paid more and we don't get a better deal if we show you more homes rather than less. In fact, did you know that just a couple years ago, I had 4 buyers in a row who bought the very first house we went to? It wasn't because they weren't picky and it wasn't because they felt pressured. It was because we do such a good job of asking enough questions, figuring out what is the most important, understanding and explaining to you what you can afford, what repairs and what cosmetic upgrades are versus foundational or health and safety. We want to figure out all of this information right now at step number 2 while we're searching, so that we don't send you into a house that you can't afford or that you feel overwhelmed in or that you're just disappointed in. So we're going to set you up on a search. We're going to make sure as much as possible that we drill down before we ever go out and see the house, that by the time we're ready to actually go view the home, short of finding some foundational issue or something crazy in the background or something they're not showing in the photos, that you are probably ready to write an offer. We want to waste as little time as possible because time is money, and time searching for houses means less time that you have with your family trying to build a home. So let's be specific. Let's figure out what you really absolutely have to have, whether it's the big kitchen, whether it's the unfinished basement, whether it's the 3 bedrooms and only 1.5 bath, or 2 bathrooms, or maybe you need 3, whatever it is. Let's be specific. Let's ask. Let's be realistic. We're going to go through all those checklists, as you will find at every single stage, whether it's pre-approval, search and find, writing an offer, getting to the closing table with inspection and appraisal. All of these steps we have a checklist for, because we've been through it so many times. We want to help to make it one of the least stressful things you do rather than one of the most stressful things that you do. It makes our job easier and your process much more pleasurable when we can prepare you enough ahead of time. One of those things is making sure that we truly, truly know what you want, what you don't want, and how we're going to get to the closing table. Thanks for being a great communicator and understanding that we are working for you and doing our best at every single moment. And, I about forgot. By the time we get to the closing table, we're going to want 2 things from you. Well, 3. We're going to want a picture with a smile because you just bought your first house. We're going to want a review that's 5 stars. So if at any time we're giving you a service level that is anything below 5 stars in your book, please let us know. We want a chance to correct it. And step number 3, we want you to replace yourself. We don't buy leads. We don't do anything like that. Our business is based 100% off of repeat and referral business. So how do we do that? We ask you now, as we start this process, we're going to ask you a couple of more times throughout the process. And then we're going to expect at the closing table that you connect us with somebody that you know that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate anywhere in the country, even if it's not Colorado. So, now's your first warning.